Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me for this month's Choose Your Own Adventure crystal reading. I'm Erin Lee, and you can find the rest of my readings on my website, VancouverIslandPsychic.com. So this is the Choose Your Own Adventure crystal reading for the month of July. And if you haven't joined me for one of these readings before, the way it works is you can think of a question or as many questions as you'd like and choose one of the following crystals to represent the answer and the guidance that you're looking for with that question. I'm going to do something a little bit different this month. I've been having a lot of people coming to me with questions about romance and relationship lately. So one of the lines is going to be dedicated to the romance deck. That said, if you have a question that is outside of a romantic question, but you still want to choose one of these questions, I will make sure that I address that as well. So I hope that's clear and makes a lot of sense. So what I'm going to ask you to do is close your eyes, or keep them open if you'd like. Take a deep breath and think about the question that you would like to have answered. And while you're thinking about that question, I'm going to list off the crystals that are available as that you can choose from. So choose one or more of the crystals to represent the answer to your question. We have amethyst, apatite, citrine, jet, moonstone, aquamarine, rose quartz, carnelian, and malachite. And I should have mentioned that the rose quartz, carnelian, and malachite are going to be the ones that I'm pulling the romance deck around. So if you have a romantic question, you can choose any of the crystals that you'd like, but these ones are going to be dealing specifically with romance. So again, your crystal choices are amethyst, apatite, citrine, jet, moonstone, aquamarine, rose quartz, carnelian, and malachite. All right, so we're going to move these off to the side. And I'm going to use a couple of different decks today. The first deck we're going to use is Doreen Virtue's Magical Messages from the Mermaids and Dolphin Oracle card deck. So we'll give those a quick shuffle, and I'm just going to go through and choose a card for each. All right, so if you've chosen amethyst, the message that's coming up for you is to consult an expert. More information is needed. Contact someone with expertise in this area. So the message that's coming up for you is that it's not time to be taking any significant action within this situation because there is something that you aren't familiar with or aware of with regards to the situation. So it's really important to be looking outside of yourself for answers and guidance. And the encouragement here is to not be taking any really decisive action at the moment because you don't have all of the information that is needed. So one of the things that's coming up here is conversation feels like it's really important, either with other parties who might be involved with the situation. Encouragement to be looking outside of yourself for information. So it could be that you're looking to professional help or services with regards to the situation, but you don't have all of the pieces of the puzzle and you don't have enough information in order to be kind of moving forward in a clear and confident way. With the crystal that you've chosen, amethyst is very much in tune with the third eye and the crown chakra. There's a lot of enlightenment, and so part of the encouragement could be that you need to be connecting and talking more with higher self, God, and the angels about this situation, because they can help to provide clarity around this for you as well. So really opening up. There's also kind of a feeling that's coming up here. Amethyst is also a really powerful crystal to help prevent and heal from psychic attacks. So within this situation, again, you don't know everything that's happening, and there is a bit of encouragement that's coming up to make sure that you are safe, healthy, and strong. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself on an energetic level as well, and sea salt baths are fabulous for getting rid of any negativity that you may be experiencing with regards to this situation. So sea salt bath rather, chakra clearing, anything you can be doing to support yourself on an energetic level feels like it would be really great. And that also gives you the time and opportunity to be getting more information about the situation from others. All right, if you've chosen appetite, the message that's coming up for you with this card is protection. You, your loved ones, and your possessions are safe and protected by heaven. And so know within this situation that you are safe and protected, and that there isn't anything that you need to worry about, that everything is going to work out fine in the best interest of everybody involved. And that feels like that actually kind of includes the other party that you may be involved with within this situation too. There is kind of encouragement here. I'm really drawn to how the mermaid is really holding and supporting her little mer baby. And what I want to say here too is that it's important that you are talking to your angels and your support network and getting as much help and support within the situation as you possibly can. Apatite is a fabulous crystal for manifestation, and so whatever it is that, or pardon me, rather any doubts that you may be having around this situation are serving energetically to support a negative outcome to the situation. So make sure you're keeping your thoughts and your intentions as high as you possibly can within the situation, but know that you are fully and completely safe. All right, if you've chosen citrine, the message that's coming up for you is to make a decision. Feeling stuck or indecisive, listen to your intuition and make a decision. So if you've chosen citrine for your question, the message that's coming up here is that you really need to start moving forward in one direction or another. In not making a choice, you're making the choice to keep things as they are, and it's time for things to be shaken up. There is a feeling of things being kind of stagnant within this situation, and it's really time to start getting things moving and going again. And a message that's been coming up for a lot of people lately is it is much easier to change direction mid-course. So if it turns out that the decision that you've made isn't the ideal decision for you to be making, you can more easily change course midstream rather than getting the energy to kind of get up and moving and to make that first step. So the message here is that it's time for you to be taking action, make a decision, move forward, and things are going to start moving along and working themselves out. But as it stands now, things can't be resolved until you take that step. The energy with citrine is actually also a very strong manifestation crystal and really helps to clear out negative energy as well. So the more you move, the more that you move forward, the more that you're shifting energy up and around, and the more that anything that is kind of negative can be released. So while it's stagnant, there's not an awful lot that can be done on a clearing level. It needs to be kind of shifted up and moved around so that it can be cleared away. All right, let's bring the other crystals back. And for these crystals, we're going to use the Messages from Your Angels Oracle card deck. So, well, actually, I'll just again go through and I'll pull 3 for these. There we go. All right, if you've chosen Jet, the message that's coming up for you with this situation is Ray, and she is saying yoga and exercise are essential to your well-being, peace of mind, and spiritual growth right now. So with this situation, it feels like it's important that you're coming back into yourself and not trying to make hasty decisions or really push forward. It's really important that you're coming more into you. So focus and concentration to be moved away from the situation and redirected into personal growth. There's kind of a feeling of things being at a standstill and that there isn't a lot that you can be doing to be actively moving forward at this time. So redirect your energy and put it into growth. With the Jet crystal, Jet is incredible in terms of pulling stuff out and neutralizing it and getting rid of it. So I tend to use this actually a lot with my Reiki sessions, because if I come into a point where there's a lot of stagnant energy, things aren't moving as they need to, Jet really kind of sucks it out. And it feels like that's kind of what happens as you start to focus and concentrate more on yourself rather than putting all of the the time and energy that you have been into this situation. The more balanced you are personally, the more that kind of flows over into this situation and helps to create things in a better, more stable light. So this is all about kind of grounding and getting back into you. All right, if you've chosen Moonstone, the message that's coming up for you is Lila, and she is saying, spend time alone in nature, meditating about your desires and intentions. Ask the angels to help you gain a positive perspective. So one of the things, I'm going to go into the crystal first with this one, is Moonstone is very, very strongly connected with women, hormonal cycles, moon cycles, and also intuition. And so the message that's coming up with this card is really important for you to be taking time to meditate, to spend time alone, to get away from this situation in general, but all situations in together, so that you can clearly hear the intuition and the messages that are coming up for you. What's coming through is that you are already receiving a lot of information and guidance around this situation, but for some reason or another, whether you don't want to hear the messages, or you're too busy and occupied with other things, or you're expecting the messages and information to come in a specific way and that's not what's coming in, the message that's coming up is you already intuitively know what to do within the situation, and it's important to start taking action around that. So listen to your gut instinct, and really pay attention to the guidance that you're already receiving, because your intuition is dead on with what's happening. And if it's just kind of turning up the volume. So if you're having a hard time hearing the messages, even though you're taking time for yourself and you're meditating and you're being as open as you possibly can be, ask your angels to turn up the volume on the messages that they're sending and receiving, that they're sending to you, so that you are more readily able to receive them. All right, now if you've chosen Aquamarine, Omega's coming up, and he's saying victory. Your desire is coming to fruition. Keep up the good work. So what's coming up here is that things are really starting to move along within this situation, and there's a lot of energy around whatever it is that you've been putting time, energy, and resources into. Everything is starting to come together. So don't stop now. Keep putting energy into it, keep pushing forward. Do listen to your intuition, and if your intuition is saying, no, this situation isn't right, then what this card is saying is that overall, what it is that you're wanting to create in your life is coming forward. Listen to your intuition, change direction, and then put all of your energy into that. But what your truest and deepest desire for this situation, whatever that may be, that is coming about, listen to the intuition that you have around how to bring that about and start making those changes. But this is definitely a card of action. And Aquamarine is also a crystal of communication. So it's time to be really clear about what it is that you want and need within the situation. So being really clear about that with other people who are involved in the situation, but also really making sure that you're talking with your angels, your guides, God, your higher self, and being really clear about what it is that you really and truly want. And there's also a feeling of kind of coming into your heart and being really truthful and honest with yourself about what you're wanting with this situation. All right, we're going to pull out the romance stone. So if you had a question other than romance, I will give that, I will kind of give the other message to that, but these crystals are really about romance and relationships. So this one is for rose quartz and carnelian and malachite. All right, if you've chosen, pardon me, if you've chosen rose quartz, the message that's coming up is healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So part of this feels like, first of all, going back into things, rose quartz is a crystal of unconditional love. It's one of the most gentle and yet most powerful heart chakra crystals that we have. And this is all about healing, unconditional love, past life, and early life relationships. And so whatever is happening within the situation that you've asked about, a big part of it is going back to feeling loved, supported, cared for and honored. And so it feels that there's a root of this within early life experiences. So it could be that you had a fabulous relationship with your parents and they had a fabulous relationship, but there's something there that's just kind of missing and tweaking. So going back into that and looking within yourself, within the situation, and seeing what it is that could be resolved, because it feels like this is a gentle healing that's happening, and then there's kind of a bit of a pop and everything starts to fall into place and moving forward. So there is deep healing involved and associated with this situation. So to move forward through that, be as compassionate and supportive as you can with yourself, with your partner, or within the situation that you're asking about. And this is also true too if you've asked a question other than a romantically based question. The foundation of this situation is early life, past life healing that's being done. And so in order to resolve whatever it is that's happening right now, approach the situation, yourself and anybody else involved, with as much love, compassion and support as you possibly can. They are kind of popping in that this doesn't mean that you completely let down your boundaries, but doing it in a way that is healthy and supportive to you and to everybody else who is involved. If you've chosen carnelian, the message that's coming up here is attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. And this seems so appropriate to me because carnelian is very much associated with the sacral chakra, which is all about passion, attraction, desire. This is kind of that va-va-voom chakra, and so there's a lot of creativity and a lot of passion and attraction that is happening within this situation for you. So if you are currently single, or if you're wanting to create more energy and spice within your romantic relationship, the encouragement here is to do as much for yourself as you can, so that you are feeling on your own that really, passionate feeling that, man, I feel fabulous. I'm just ready. Because that helps to foster and grow that either within upcoming relationships or within relationships that you already have right now. If you've asked a question that is outside of romance and romantic relationship, the message that's coming up for you is that there is passion that is missing within the situation. As you feed that passion, whether it's within the situation itself or personally you are doing something that you're passionate about, then everything starts to resolve within the situation. And there's also kind of a feeling coming up that it's really important that you are doing something that you love and enjoy. So if this is a question that you've asked around life purpose or career or anything like that, it's really important that you are actively pursuing something that you love and enjoy. And this is really encouragement to that, because the more that you are loving and enjoying, the more that comes into your life. All right. If you've chosen malachite, the message that's coming up for you is to give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. So if you're asking about romantic relationship that you're currently in, the message that's coming up here is that there's still a lot of love and foundation within the situation, but it's important that everybody is communicating with the other person. Malachite itself is another heart chakra crystal, and it really brings about powerful transformation. And so the message that's really coming through for you is that there is still hope within this relationship. It's just a matter of putting more energy into it. And this is energy that's happening on both sides. So the more you put into it, it's not time to give up this relationship. It is not time to be moving on. If you are single and looking for a relationship, the message that's coming up for you here is not to give up hope. There is a romantic relationship that's coming for you. There's powerful transformation that's going on around you, and things are coming in together. So keep up the faith. Do whatever it is that you need to do in order to make yourself feel like you're in that place where you're already in the relationship of your dreams, because that's part of what brings that relationship in for you. And if you've asked a question that is outside of romantic relationship, the message that's coming up for you is that again, you know, to be putting energy, continue to put energy into this situation, because all is not lost. It does feel like there is compromise that's happening on both sides, and that it's time to continue kind of moving forward. So please don't give this situation up. There's still something to be gained from it. I'd like to thank you so much for joining me for this month's Choose Your Own Adventure Crystal reading. I'm Erin Lee, and you can find the rest of my readings on my website, VancouverIslandPsychic.com, and I'd like to wish you a fabulous month.